Ethiopia's long-awaited National Dialogue Conference officially opened in Addis Ababa today. The conference has brought together over 4,000 representatives from across the country for what is expected to be a landmark effort to build national consensus on the country's most pressing issues. Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed, senior government officials, members of the diplomatic community, religious leaders, elders, and other invited guests attended the opening ceremony. The conference, organized by the Ethiopian National Dialogue Commission, ENDC, marks the beginning of several weeks of structured deliberations aimed at fostering common understanding and reaching consensus on key national priorities. Participants are expected to engage in intensive discussions designed to help chart a shared vision for Ethiopia's future and contribute to lasting peace, national unity, and reconciliation. The delegates, drawn from more than 1,200 wardas across the country, represent diverse communities, civil society organizations, religious institutions, youth, women, and other segments of society. Unlike previous political conferences largely driven by political elites, the national dialogue process has been built on extensive grassroots consultations conducted throughout Ethiopia. Before the official opening, participants underwent intensive orientation sessions on the dialogue process, deliberation methods, and consensus-building approaches. The delegates were also briefed on the procedures that will guide the discussions during the three-week conference. Over the past week, thousands of delegates arrived in Addis Ababa through coordinated air and land transportation and have been accommodated at the Ethiopian Civil Service University and the Federal Technical and Vocational Education and Training Institute. Beginning with the formal deliberations, participants will discuss agenda items identified through nationwide public consultations conducted by the Ethiopian National Dialogue Commission. The Commission has organized the agenda around 8 major thematic pillars reflecting the priorities and concerns raised by citizens during the consultation process. The pillars include state building, structure and form of government, the constitutional status and governance of the federal cities of Addis Ababa and Dire Dawa, religious affairs, institutional building, the rule of law and human rights, socioeconomic affairs, anti-corruption and good governance, and peace building. Discussions on state building will focus on historical narratives, national identity, citizenship, and social cohesion. Deliberations on governance will examine the federal system, constitutional order, among others, while discussions on Addis Ababa and Dire Dawa will address their constitutional status, governance, and national roles. Participants will also consider ways to strengthen interfaith harmony and peaceful coexistence, reinforce democratic institutions and judicial independence, safeguard human rights, promote equitable socioeconomic development, improve resource management, and address the concerns of farmers, pastoralists, and young people. The remaining discussions will focus on strengthening transparency and accountability in public institutions, combating corruption, advancing reconciliation, preventing conflict, and establishing sustainable mechanisms for lasting peace. The National Dialogue Conference is widely regarded as a significant milestone in Ethiopia's efforts to resolve long-standing political, social, and economic challenges through inclusive dialogue and consensus-based solutions. U.S. Ambassador visits Tigray in bid to revive dead peace deal. U.S. Ambassador to Ethiopia Irvin Masinga arrived in Mekelle today for talks with regional leaders and aid agencies amid growing political friction between the Tigray People's Liberation Front, TPLF, and the federal government. Earlier this week, the TPLF declared the Pretoria Agreement, which ended the 2-year war in November 2022, effectively dead, and announced Tigray's self-reinstated political leaders would not participate in the long-awaited National Dialogue Conference, which kicked off in Addis Ababa today. A statement from the U.S. Embassy indicates Masinga is in Mekelle to stress the urgent need for open dialogue and the complete, unhindered implementation of the peace deal to prevent a relapse into conflict. Peace and stability ensure recipient communities build local capacity and transition away from emergency relief toward long-term self-reliance, reads the statement. Last month, the U.S. State Department announced visa restrictions on hardline members of the TPLF and their immediate family members in response to rising tensions in the country's north. Thank you for staying with us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel.